design tools for the same. I would like to welcome Dr. Gopi Krishna. He's a science illustrator, a design lead at Cactus Communication. He's a cancer nanotechnologist, a passionate photographer as well. We already had a session, a guest lecture done by Dr. Gopi, and now I think that has led us to this 2 days workshop because we were so impressed, and the way he had taken things was very interesting. To all the participants of the workshop, the main participants here, I think there would be teachers, professors, lecturers. There are students here in the participant list. So I think this is very important at this stage, because now it is, now or ever it is, usually a picture speaks better. Right, so these days we can see many of the journal papers, the journals ask for make it a mandate that you have a graphical representation of the abstract, or a graphical abstract. So it becomes important that we understand and how we go about it, and it is always that a picture can drag us into the concept. So learning such a thing will be a upskilling kind of an act. So I really appreciate all the participants who have registered for this workshop. It will be very useful for all of you. It's a very smart decision that you have made. This will actually help you a lot in your publications and the way we look at working out an abstract, or displaying a concept. So with that small note, I would like to welcome all of you to this workshop, and my thanks and appreciation to Dr. Ashwin, who has been pivotal in arranging all these things, who is actually the point of contact, who had introduced us to Dr. Gopi. Thank you, Dr. Ashwin. I think this is very useful and a different kind of workshop we are going to have, a typical hands-on one. Thank you, Dr. Ashwin.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Gopi, and welcome all of you again. Have a very useful 2 days workshop. Welcome all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for your encouragement, ma'am. Janani, can you please introduce Dr. Gopi?
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank Dr. Ashwin sir, Assistant Professor, Biomedical Department, for convening the workshop. I would like to share a few words about our guest instructor, Dr. Gopi Krishnan, design lead of Catus Communication. He is a cancer nanotechnologist by profession and has about 7 years experience of graphic design, specialized in science and communication. He has also worked with a many renewable journal publisher to create a journal covers, graphical abstract to promote science better. We're extremely honored here to have you with us, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you,
Jenny. Thanks, Ashwin.
Yeah,
Thanks, ma'am. It was really kind, and it was really good to listen to people say good things about you early in the morning. So I think that you should do this so often. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there is one thing that I want to like share now. Ma'am was saying that there is most of the journals are actually asking for graphical abstract nowadays, and they are going more visual and textual. I mean, previously science communication was all textual. We used to write a lot, but nowadays people are asking for more visuals. There's a reason why. I mean, the reason is that as we have grown more with the technology, and we have more grown with the visual media like TV or Netflix or anything, we have kind of moved away from text. So we don't have much patience. Our attention span is very limited nowadays. It is used to be better before. Now, since we have a lot of distractions, now the attention span is so limited. So that's why the journals are asking for some interesting pictures and videos and everything, so that people can be like look at it, and they can understand things in a very small time. I mean, so we have to feed the information to the viewer within their attention span. But having said that, it is really ironic that we are going to spend 2 days on one topic, okay, and really going to stretch our attention span here. And I really want to see. I mean, I know that most of you have turned off your camera to save bandwidth. I really want to see how many of you will be awake after 2 days. Okay. So yeah, I mean that I just thought about that when ma'am was saying the very reason why we create images is because we don't have attention span, and we are banking on our attention span for 2 days to create images again. So it's a kind of like vicious circle there. Anyway, so we'll go and start. Okay. So when Ashwin kind of asked me to do some kind of workshop, we had two options. Okay. So I thought that we will either do a workshop on Illustrator or any such software where you can use that to create your graphical structs and everything. It's a low weight, I mean, considerably easy 2D software. Okay. And then there is but the problem with Illustrator is that you have to pay for it. I mean, that's a paid software and it's really expensive. And then there is Blender, which is completely free, and this is a 3D software. So I kind of ask you guys and what you really want to learn, and I think that most of you already preferred Blender. So okay, I think most of you already kind of agreed that you ask for Blender. So that's why we will go over today. All right.
Yeah, the one
So
reason, Dr. Gopi, the one reason is that Adobe is actually a very highly paid software.
yes,
So
yes,
that is
I know.
one reason
Yes, sir.
everybody may be chosen for for the Blender software. And Blender is, I think, maybe a little difficult, not as easy as like say Adobe Illustrator. Maybe uh, I mean, some discussions on that. So anyway, let's see. I mean, it'll be easy.
To everyone who's telling me that softwares are difficult to learn, I always say that we haven't learned PowerPoint when we were in school, right? We haven't learned PowerPoint, and now you guys can create really good things in PowerPoint. I was looking at that poster you created for somebody. I think it was Ashwin. I don't know who created it.
Yeah.
I think you okay, it's you. So the poster you created for this meeting, that's really good. I mean, that's a complex thought process going behind that. So we haven't learned PowerPoint in school. I mean, we have learned PowerPoint along the way. And now, when you think about PowerPoint, it's a very short software that every kid can do. I mean, that's what you think about that. So just like that, if you spend enough time on Blender or any other software, I'm sure that like it will come to you. But only thing is that the thought process is different for different softwares. I mean, if you consider Illustrator, I mean, the reason why Illustrator is easy for many of you is that you are already having experience in PowerPoint. So you know how to like change circles, squares, and everything, and you know how to think in 2D space. Okay, I mean we have been doing that since our childhood. I mean the moment that we draw a house and a tree on a paper, we are working with 2D. All right, so we are doing 2D for like the entire life. So it's comparatively little easier to kind of get into a 2D software and do that. But coming to 3D software, ironically, we are doing 3D our entire life. We are interacting with other things. If I am interacting with this phone, this is a 3D object. If I am reaching my hand there, and if I am reaching my hand in 3D, we are doing 3D steps in our life. We are doing 3D steps all the time. But doing 3D steps inside a computer is kind of counterintuitive because we are doing 3D in 2D screen. The screens are 2D, right? The screens that you're looking at is 2D, and we are perceiving depth inside that. So we kind of need a little bit of different kind of thought process. We need to get a little used to get into that. That's a main difference. And then comes all the technicality and everything. That's fine. So what I am intending with this workshop, definitely, I mean, it might come as a disappointment to many of you. Definitely, it's not to make all of you like Blender experts, okay? But once you switch on the Blender and see all the options and the gray and blue things, it's overwhelming, and some of us may be a little afraid and intimidated with that. So what I am trying to do is that I am trying to just ease up that intimidation. I'm just trying to ease up the learning curve. The learning curve is like this. I just want to make it like this. That's all I want to do. Okay, so I will explain all the basics and how to navigate it, how to think about it, all those things. And you and me both together, we will create an image, and say as the schedule that I have has given you. We will try to create a bacteria page image which is resting on a cell memory. Okay, the reason why bacteria pages are